On Saturday, September 25th, Terranea will host a one-of-a-kind event, a reunion of their own roots. Once upon a time, it was called Marineland, and today we're going to bring you a sneak peek of what you can expect.
It's a day that's open all day for people to come and see where they used to work or where they used to visit as a child and just revisit their memories and have a look at the before and after and see what we've done with this amazing site, which is where Marineland used to be. So we have some scheduled activities throughout the day, but essentially people are welcome to come at any time, have a look around and walk and find out what we have to offer today.
It's amazing when you think back. It's been 24 years since Marineland was here, and yet the feel is still here, you know, of the park.
Absolutely. And we are very, very conscious of our legacy here. And when the land was developed, it was developed with a sincere appreciation of the beauty and the surroundings, and I know that our landscape architects worked really hard to make sure that we reflected everything that this particular piece of land has to offer. It's really unique, and I think they've done an amazing job. So we will have before and after pictures for people to see, and we'll have a walk plotted out so people can wander around and just see what's different.
Yes, and we've got music, of course, happening all day with Freedom for You that will be here, and just a great community event for everyone to come out to.
Well, absolutely, and we are trying to support local organizations as well. We'll have the Marine Mammal Care Center here doing a seal release in the afternoon, and we've partnered with them since before we opened. In fact, they're one of our nominated charities. We have telescopes planted all around the resort, and one of those is directly supporting the Marine Mammal Care Center. The concert, of course, is put on by Freedom for You, and they are a local organization, again, that supports youth here on the Hill through music. So it's wonderful to be able to support them and involve them in this day. And there'll be so many other local organizations here too. We have the Land Conservancy coming, the Interpretive Center, donations from the library. The Land Conservancy will be doing walks. The Peninsula Education Foundation will be here. So we've tried to involve as many relevant local people as we can and make it a day where people can come and just chat and informally reach out to everyone.
Really, you know, Terranea is a destination hotel, but for many people this is going to be a special destination on the 25th.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how many people visit us when I'm doing tours of the surroundings, and they say, I visited here as a child, or I used to work here, or my dad worked here, or a family member visited. So it's extraordinary. I'm never ceased to be amazed at how many people have a connection with this piece of property. So that's exciting. And I think that, you know, it's open to everybody. So it's just another way to say, we are your backyard, we are the local community, and we want everyone to come down. I mean, you don't have to spend money. You can just have a walk around. If you want to stay for lunch or dinner, we'd love to have you, obviously. We will be offering food in the afternoon. But either way, just come and have a walk and have a look, and hopefully the weather will be kind and beautiful. And we might even have a few whales go by. Who knows? And we just want everybody to realize that this is about the local community as well as a long-haul destination for other people. So it's going to be a very busy weekend. We have an awful lot going on.
Yes. Fred, let's just talk a little bit about your background, because you worked at Marineland, and we're going back some 24 years since it closed here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I first came to the park in 1976 or so. I was just a kid in high school. I went to South Torrance here, Palos Verdes. Both of my parents were teachers here on the hill. Wow. So we just walked over the hill and came into the park one day, and I got an annual pass right on the spot, and just came back pretty much every day, whenever I could since then. Okay. And my goal was just to work here at the park, and that's pretty much what I did.
So what did they have you doing when you were first working?
When I first started, I was in the merchandise department, and then I went to the warehouse, and I became a warehouse manager over the course of time, and that's what I was doing when the park closed in 1987.
You know, it's kind of sad to think about the fact that it was here for such a long time and then it did close, but now with the reunion, we can kind of remember the memories of Marineland.
Well, that's the whole point about this thing is I was up here in March and just walking around because the resort just opened up, and I go, well, we got to do the Marineland reunion coming up because a lot of my friends who used to work there, you know, we're not getting younger anymore. So
Yeah.
it's like, let's all get together. Let's get together in Palos Verdes, where we did one in San Diego about 3 years ago. So wanted to come up here, and now that the resort's open, wanted to walk around the property and maybe consider doing something here. And I was just walking around, and I would bump into hotel guests and people just walking in residents in the area going, oh, Marineland was so great. We used to come here, and blah. I go, oh, yeah? What do you remember? And I just started talking to people that day, and I got into about 6 different conversations with people going, wow, you know, the spirit is really still alive here. So it would be cool to, you know, do something up here, get, you know, all of us that worked here back up here, you know, into the Marineland Ballroom, which is cool.
Yeah.
You know, the heritage is still continued, and, you know, even Nelson's here, this restaurant was a, you know, a restaurant in Marineland, which was kind of cool.
That's very cool. It's very cool. Can you share some of the stories that people told you?
Just people that would just come, you know, they're in the military, they came over, and they're just, you know, like typical 50s, say, you know, we came to Marineland once, we saw the whale, and, you know, that type of stuff.
Yes.
You know, to people that lived in the area that were, you know, students here that used to come here and work during the summer, you know, things like that. So a wide variety of people that one day.
Right.
But it was so cool to see.
You know, you obviously have a love of the marine mammals because you're still doing that.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Talk about
It's, well, when Marineland closed, I was lucky enough to get offered a job at SeaWorld, who was, you know, the big bad one at the time. But, you know, I mean, we were, you know, we were out of a job, and a lot of the people up here were high school kids or retired people or just people who couldn't really afford to leave with families and stuff.
Right.
So there were about a handful of us, maybe, I don't know, 12 to 15 people that relocated to San Diego and started working at SeaWorld immediately. And I was there, and I ended up going into the animal care department down there, working with the sea lions, dolphins, you know, whales, different types of stuff, walruses, otters, and just made marine mammals my whole life. And that's kind of what I do. I do that for a while, and I go, you know, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get rich doing this, but it sure is a fun job, but it sure is expensive to live in Southern California.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's always a blend of, you know, trying to get by and trying to enjoy your work, and then trying to do what you can to, you know, survive.
Well, you know, I think something people don't know is you get very close to the dolphins, the whales. I knew people that worked at a park in Northern California, and they really are like your friends, you know?
Oh, they're definitely your friends. Yeah, there's times when I can go to work and work with some sea lions, and yeah, I see them more than I see my family and, you know, my friends,
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
And you get to know every little, you know, quirk about them, and, you know who you can, you know, play with, and, you know, who you kind of just give them their space. So
Absolutely, and I know we'll be doing a seal release on the 25th, is that right?
yeah, that's what I understand, as long as the veterinary conditions apply, you know.
Right.
Because you can't release an animal that's not ready to be released.
Right.
But I think it should be good. It's kind of nice to have that because that is live marine mammals here.
Absolutely.
Kind of the purpose of what Marineland was doing to begin with was care and education and research for, you know, not just marine mammals, but pretty much everything in the ocean here. And it's just right off the coast here, and it's so available to everybody that it's kind of nice that it takes something like Marineland just to open everyone's eyes. You know, and they're not here anymore, but the mission is still continuing with the Fort MacArthur Marine Mammal Care Center, and, you know, places like Friends of the Sea Lion, and up in Sausalito, there's some places up there. So, you know, the marine mammal industry is still alive and well.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
it's great to see that. And then coming to the park, walking around, we're going to have some little graphics set up of kind of what was at Marineland in this spot back in the day, so people can kind of look and, okay, I remember where it was, and if I can, you know, they could do a visual comparison.
Excellent.
To how the, you know, the property is still, you know, kind of relates, you know. I think it's interesting here, the main building up at Terranea is pretty much where the old building was at Marineland, and, you know, I'm walking through it going, okay, now this is probably about where the killer whale tank would be, you know.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's that kind of surreal thing for me, is just walking around and seeing what's here. They've done a lot by keeping a lot of the landmarks in place, so you can really get a good reference of where you are compared to where you were then. You know, I spent a lot of time here, so.